You are now listening to Fighting for Your Life podcast. I am your host, Miguel Ramirez. And on today's episode, we have the fighter, co-founder, and legend of Streetbeefs West Coast, Alex Bushido Zed Chenard. Welcome to the show.
Yo, thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me. Legend, bro. I don't know about that.
Yeah, you're a legend, bro. Yeah, you should hear it. Yeah, for sure.
Man, yeah, no, that feels good. That feels good. I really appreciate that. That's a killer intro, and this is a really cool show. I met you kind of not physically yet, but through Wedo. And man, Wedo's such a cool guy, and he has helped us build and really expand and just have so much more opportunity for the branch. And as soon as he was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna have this guy at my event or whatever, and you know, I started talking to you, and I was like, man, I love when we are able to attract like-minded people. You know, it's really nice to be able to share the things that you like and love with people that also like and love those things, you know? And so I think it's just, I appreciated Wedo bringing you on, and I appreciate you doing all the things that you do with, you know, with like the kind of like the different angles of some of the fights and your podcasting, and, you know, you're active in the group as well. So thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
for
having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, it's been so much fun ever since I met Wedo and joined the group, and then, you know, chit-chatting with you here online. And yeah, for sure, we definitely got to meet in person one day.
Yes, sir.
And it's been an incredible community. And last episode I had Wedo on, kind of sharing the history of the hot box, and that was so awesome, just like telling the story about that and talking about the community there. And you guys, I mean, you were the originator of Streetbeefs West Coast, you and Tiny Tank, who's been on the podcast.
Sir.
Dude, one of the things that I wanted to say was, I think when I first started podcasting, when you were on MMA Underground, you guys were talking about Shinigami and how that whole thing kind of blew up. And I was telling Wedo that I think I found you guys through the Tommy G documentary YouTube video that he did, but I think it was actually Shinigami, because I was watching The Fighter and the Kid, and then I saw him come on, and I think the Streetbeefs West Coast like started popping up in my YouTube feed. And then Tommy G happened, and then I was like, oh shit, this is in Arizona. Met Wedo, and it's, you know, that's it. That's been it since, you know.
History. Yeah. Well, I am so glad that's really cool to hear how you heard about us, because half the time it's really just kind of like a word of mouth thing, you know. A lot of these fighters will ask him like, hey, how did you hear about us? And it was just like, a friend fought, or, you know, like something like that usually. And but the other half of the time it is the internet, and so that is really cool, you know. And yeah, it's just it's wild how this thing spreads, dude. It really is. And I honestly love hearing all the stories. Like, it doesn't matter how you found us. I'm genuinely interested, because, you know, this is a club that I'm running, you know, with Face's blessing, right? We can use the Street Beefs name because, you know, he came out and he saw Martin and I, and he saw our personalities, and he saw us fight, and then he saw us be friends afterwards, you know. It's not something I expected.
Right.
I honestly was not sure what to expect, and that's why I went. I really wanted to experience Street Beefs. You know, I had been watching for years, and I had gotten out of the military recently. You know, this was 2017.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was a little lost. You know, I had a good job, and just the direction wasn't there, and I didn't know what to really pour my passion into.
Right.
And man, after that event and that fight,
that was it.
Well, I mean, I still didn't know that we were going to run a branch.
Okay.
After that fight, I had this burning desire to train and to come back and to fight again. And that was really cool for me, because I was like, I've not had this kind of like push to kind of do anything after I got out of the Air Force. And it was hard. It's difficult to navigate that. You know, you go from being active duty and you're being told what to do and all this stuff, and now you're civilian and you have 100% free choice, you know? And so it's just like, whoa, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And man, I'm so glad that Scarface came out to Cali and decided to give the West Coast a chance and just, see what the West Coast flavor was all about. And
Right.
man, I am so happy that he's given us that chance. So
Yeah, for sure. So in the MMA Underground show, you were talking about how you were in the group, I think, before it ever even came out here. You were part of the Street Beefs group.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so you
Yeah.
were
So
messaging, and it seemed like, at least to me, I was kind of picking up like you were kind of persistent. Like whenever he was like, "Hey, maybe we should do something out in the West Coast," you're like, "Let me know." Hey, something,
absolutely.
like let me know. Let's go. I'm about it. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
kind of how
Yes,
it was?
sir.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it was. And really a point of contact that was important then and still is for me now is Sunshine.
Okay.
Sunshine is kind of like she's in the background, she does a lot of matchmaking, a lot of coordinating, a lot of just messaging people and emailing organizations and creating a lot of opportunities. And so, back when it was just the Facebook group and all that, I noticed that. And I noticed her commenting on a lot of
Hmm.
posts and saying, "Hey, this is how you sign up. Hey, if you want to join, all this stuff." So I kind of was like, okay, that's kind of an important person.
Yeah.
And I really want to do this. So I'm going to just try to, um, keep it fresh in her mind, and as well as Scarface, that hey, if you guys ever come out west,
You got somebody out here.
yeah, you got me, and I know quite a few people that are interested. So yeah, I was just trying to keep that connection,
Right.
and it worked. It really worked. And I'm just so I have so much gratitude for
Yeah.
where this has gone. Obviously, we could always say things like, um, the fights deserve more views, or we deserve more subs, or things like that, but um, if fighters ever go that direction, I always try to remind them, like, um, this is a hobby, right? Like, obviously you can take this and you can turn it into something if you want. You can
Right.
go amateur, you can go pro, you can make the connections to do that. But at the base level, at it's a club,
Right.
and so you volunteer your time and your money to
Right.
come hang out and get beat up, right? That's
Yeah.
not. It's not like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not fancy. It's not. We're not
We're not
having these
starting a
great.
career here right
Yeah,
now. I mean,
exactly.
maybe,
Right. Yeah.
you know, for some, maybe, but
For some, yeah, but for the
right.
most of the people that come in, it's like that, and that's
Right.
fine. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, yeah, it's been humbling, man. I've met so many good people, and so many people that have turned their lives around. Maybe they made, some recent decisions that they regret, and they come and fight, and like, you just kind of, you see the clouds kind of clearing up a little bit. They think a little more clear. They're trying to
Yeah.
be healthy. There's just so much positivity, and I'm so proud to like be a part of it and to help cultivate it. You know what I'm saying? And to like come on these podcasts like this, and like, it's so mind blowing to me that people are interested in like what I have to say. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all, yeah, it's awesome. And dude, you've done something that like is so rare, like something so different, so unique
Yes,
that
sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's pretty awesome.
Well,
You guys
thank
were
you, man.
talking about that the fight in the desert. Like, what were you thinking, like driving out there? I mean, so this is the first Street Beefs, and they send you like a pin or some shits like to some.
Yeah, yeah. It was a general location, man. It was a general location, and there wasn't much out there.
Yeah,
So,
because you guys were like
um,
ripping stuff up, but like, what are you thinking driving out to the desert? Like, am I gonna get murdered out here? Like, what is gonna, like? This is some
no,
wild. I mean, not that,
I
but
was, I was definitely nervous. I was
yeah.
nervous, and I drove out there a week before the event because that's originally when it was scheduled.
Okay.
So I drove out. I got a motel in Bakersfield, because that's like, it was like 2 hours out from Bakersfield, and so uh, I get up the next day and I look at my phone and the event's canceled. So I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, like,
Oh man.
it was just
Yeah.
crushing, bro. And I was like, man, I almost made it. And so I
Yeah.
went back, And I think maybe that night, maybe the next day, Sunshine had posted like, "Hey, we're going to reschedule. They're trying to come out in a week." So I was like, "Okay, try to clear things up again, and try to make it down there." And so I did, and like I said, there wasn't much out there. There was a gas station that I passed by. Like I was maybe 20 minutes from the spot, and so I'm like, maybe I should stop here. Stop there, and I see some other people parked out in the back, and I'm like, are these street beefs fighters or are they not? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk up to them, like, hey, you guys here for street beefs? And we're just out there like
Recording in progress.
we had the gloves on, we had mitts on, we were just like warming up at this gas station out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh
And
man.
pretty soon we see more cars coming. Like, okay, maybe we can follow them. So we end up following them, and lo and behold, we find the space, and there's no Scarface, there's no show of the crew yet.
Yeah.
So a bunch of us were just like, hey, there's no ring. So let's try to clear some of this up and make it a little more flat and take out some of the rocks and some of the bushes. Cause it was like,
That's freaking
it was
insane.
like, yeah, it was not your sand at the sandbox or the hot box or anything like that.
Okay.
Even that sand's pretty rough, but
Yeah.
this was just like, we just walked out into the desert and like,
Yeah, you
so,
can't fight like that.
no. So we were clearing it up. And I remember one of the fighters, Chili Willie. He hasn't fought for us in a while, but he had some wood planks in the back of his car. So we get those and we're like flattening out the sand, and we're doing our best, right? And then as we're doing that, Scarface and his family show up, and we're like, "Whoa, this is real, dude!" Like, we're just piece by piece, it's coming together, right? Scarface shows up, and he's just saying hi to everyone. He's got the celeb status, of course, right?
Yeah.
Us West Coasters are like, never thought we would even meet him, and
Yeah.
so,
That comes through the
yeah,
fog. The dust in the
yes,
desert.
exactly, bro.
With the headlights.
That's how
Yeah.
it was, man. We
Yeah.
were like, well, I'm thinking back on it, and I still feel that way. So it's cool, man. He met everyone, and he had some really cool things to say, and we started matchmaking like right after that. And so he just like, you, what do you want? Boxing, MMA, and there wasn't a whole lot of MMA that day, and it's still kind of like that today. There's a lot more boxing than anything else.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to match Martin up, and just couldn't.
I think we're having some internet troubles. If you guys haven't had a chance to go back and check out the episode with Martin, check it out.
Okay, there we go. I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're back.
I don't know if okay. Yeah. Okay. So Martin.
They were matching him up.
He was trying to match him up, and I remember I was going through my bag on the ground, and Face looks at me and he looks at Martin and he's like, "You guys gonna match up, all right?" And I size up Martin, bro. Like, dude, I didn't even know his name, and literally Tank was in my head. I'm like, this dude has no neck.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, what?
They're like Tiny Tank. You're like, of course.
Oh,
of course,
dude. Of course. Yeah, bro. No, that first size up, I was nervous. I was like, dang. I'd been in a boxing gym for a couple months, and I had some good sparring, man. I had some I was putting things together, some nice combos and things like that.
Yeah.
Bro, none of that. It all went out the window, dude. As soon as the fight started, it was just like survival.
Yeah.
I was trying not to get knocked out, basically, because I had never felt anyone punch that hard.
Right. Yeah.
And man, he was cracking me good. And I will say that something that I learned about myself that day from that loss was how tough I could be, right? And so that's something I always questioned. Like, I always was like, man, if I got into a fight, like, would I fold? after one punch, you know, like sometimes you watch a fight and you're like, man, that dude went down and I don't think he was knocked out, you know, like I think he just quit. Like, and so, it was cool to learn that about myself that day. And which is crazy because like I'd been in the Air Force, I'd been on 2 deployments, I was in a horrific accident, you know, and I'd made it through a lot of challenges, and that's still a legit question about myself that I had, you know, and I think that's something that martial arts and combat sports, it's kind of a very unique way to learn just how much you can take, if that makes sense, you know, and it's all connected. It's physical and mental. It's not really just like just physical. Fighting it's mental as well, you know, and you know, you are very versed in that, you know what I'm saying? Doing jujitsu and like, whew, you know, like it's challenging, you know, mentally and physically. Like if you're lacking in one area, the other one's going to be not so great either. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. You know, you still get on the mat, you still do it all. Yeah. You never quit. Right. But there are days where it's just going to be like that mental fog is going to get you, or your back's been hurting you, but like, you got to get in there and roll, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's just kind of like, it was a cool moment for me after I fought Martin. And then I saw how nice he was, right? He came over to me, he was like, hey, I've got these Street Beef shirts. Yeah. You want a shirt? I'm just like, well, I'm like, my nose is all swollen. I'm like, you know, and I'm like, cool, bro. You know, and I like shook his hand and like it was, and then I will say like from that experience and then later on learning that we could have our own branch. Yeah. I wanted to do my best to recreate what I had experienced for everyone. And I wanted to do that every event. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be welcoming, and I wanted it to be a place where, you know, if you don't have a lot of support, you can find come in and we'll support you. Yeah. Like, and as long as you're not doing dirtbag stuff, like we'll let you know if you are, you know, and that's like, we have no issue calling people out. And I think that's healthy. I think like, if you can't take a little bit of criticism sometimes, you know, and that's myself included, like no one's perfect. No one is Jesus or God or Allah or whatever, right? We're all just here to experience the human things. Yeah. And that includes everything, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've learned through Street Beefs is life is all encompassing, right? Like I can't turn away from the sadness and the madness just to feel happy. Like you have to feel it all. Right. And so, that's something that's kind of been, deeply taught within me through fighting and through Street Beefs. Yeah. And so once Face was like, hey, I really like what I saw out West. Can you guys do this? I was like, this is my calling. This is my opportunity, man. Like, and like you said earlier, you know, I stayed up on it. I was persistent, and I just wanted them to know that there was availability out here, and that things, you know, the West Coast flavor is just, it's a little different than the East Coast. And we'll never recreate OG Street Beefs because that's who they are. And, you know, we're not trying to do that. So it's been 5 years of excitement and just having a blast, and growth is really the main word that I would use for not just the community, but the individuals within the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's so cool to see everyone just helping everyone. I love it.
Yeah, it's unavoidable, man. You hang out and you stick around, you fight long enough, and you're gonna grow. You're gonna learn.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's just part of the deal.
It's part of the deal.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like you said, Street Beefs West Coast has been around for 5 years now, and if you could go back and give yourself a pep talk in the desert, what would you say to yourself before that fight?
Oh, that's a great question. Let's see.
Like if you could see yourself and how you were out there, what would you say?
Oh man, brother, you're not quite ready, but It doesn't matter because so many beautiful, wonderful things are going to come from this. And I'm proud of you for even just stepping in that dirt ring.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell fighters that all the time. It doesn't matter how many losses you have, especially street beefs, man. Like, I don't mean that to talk bad about street beefs, but it's a hobby, like we talked about earlier, right? So you're not every win doesn't count on your career towards MMA or boxing or whatever, right? Like, the promotions are not going to be looking at your street beefs career and saying, you're not worth as much because you have, this many losses in street beef. So,
right.
But I get that no one likes losing, right? And so it's a touchy little thing, but I like to tell fighters that especially ones that are curious and haven't been in there.
Mm-hmm.
Once you step in there, you're going to be like, it's going to be opening doors because you're put into this stressful position that you're not normally operating in. Right. And so by voluntarily putting yourself in there, you just it's unavoidable. Right. And I'm sure you know what this is like, and it's almost like your new neural pathways are opening up or reopening, right? Because for the world we put on so many masks,
right?
And that's how life is. But when you get in the cage and fight, those masks start coming off, and you start looking at yourself, and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm scared, but I can keep fighting. Or, you know what I'm saying? You just start learning all these things right in the fight. And then afterwards, you can watch it, and you watch it back over and over and over, and you learn more and more and more and more about yourself, and then you just get better.
And that's that's the coolest thing is, like, as it's pointing things out, like, you can work on these things, like things that maybe, like, sometimes people may feel like it's just a part of you, and then it's like, well, no, not so much. Like, you can work more cardio, you can, do some more techniques so that you're not thinking so much, and it's more second nature. And
yes, sir.
And then the more, like, it's weird because when you come up against challenges and little by little you start, like, just tackling them, like, and sometimes things can be like, it seems like they're just too much, but you got to do something. So you take the first step, take the next step, take the next step, and then before you know it, you're kind of digging your way out of a hole.
Boom.
But what happens?
That's like fighting, right?
Just like fighting. But the crazy thing is that once you've done it enough times, hopefully there's like a shift in perspective where now when a challenge comes, you almost kind of get excited because you know that this is an opportunity for you to get better at something.
Boom. Yes, you nailed it. I love it.
You know? Yeah.
You're gaining confidence. And now, instead of possibly turning away from opportunities because of fear or anxiety, just attack it.
Yeah.
Just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And you might fail a bunch, but you're going to succeed in areas that you didn't think you were going to.
Yeah.
Right?
And then,
so that's cool.
Yeah. Losing's not so bad, because actually losing is going to show you, okay, I got to work on that,
Yes,
and then that's where that's it right there. It's the spotlight,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, like no, I'm not. Go ahead. I was gonna say my bad.
Go for it, brother.
No, on that topic, like, I remember one time I was I just wasn't prepared for a tournament, and I got smoked, and I was pissed. I was pissed, and, like, usually, like, I'm a good sport, and I wasn't mad at anybody else except for myself. I was disappointed in myself for not showing up ready, for not doing what I knew I was capable of.
Oof,
I wasn't capable of that in the moment because I wasn't prepared for it, but I know what I can do, and, like, that sat with me for until the next one. And then, and still it comes back. And those are the things that, little by little, and then at the end of the day, you also have that perspective. Like you were saying, dude, I'm doing a local tournament. Like, I paid to get into this thing. Like, I don't win any money if they give me this gold medal as like $20, it's like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah. And, like, we as humans, we choose to give value to things. Right. And so, you can look at that tournament both ways, just like you described, like don't be so heartbroken that you didn't perform well. However, you can still use that anger that it generated to get better and to remember, hey, I didn't perform to my top level last time, so I don't want that to happen again.
Right.
But don't let it crush you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that balancing act. And so
and the balance.
I love that you said that.
The balance is that most people wouldn't even do that. No. I went out there and got freaking wrecked, but most people wouldn't even sign up to go out there.
Yeah,
I made the weight and got wrecked, so
you stepped in. Yeah, you did your
I wasn't
part.
happy, but it is what it is. Exactly. And we move on.
And it's a learning moment. And that's really, like we were talking about earlier, the fighters that kind of, they take their losses pretty hard. I like to chat with them and just let them know, hey, like, just come back and fight again. And like, you're going to feel better, right? Like, it was your first fight or your second fight or whatever, maybe they didn't really experience the community yet. Maybe they left right after their fight or whatever,
Yeah. Stay and hang out.
I like to just, stay and hang out, man. Like, come and you went and fought. Now enjoy some fights. I always tell people that too. Like, come just sit ringside and hang out. And that's really what it is it's just a bunch of people that love fights and love fighting. Yeah. And they're, just really ingrained into that culture. And we get to have a club and meet once a month and hang out with our club family, and that's really just what it's turned into. And like I said earlier, all these opportunities, man, when I see someone go for power slap or a street beefs guy is doing well in BKFC or even not doing well at BK, whatever, dude. Like,
they're out there.
They're out there, bro. Yeah. Like, and that makes me happy because so many people really think that Street Beefs is just a bunch of not very good people. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of people that are violent and uncontrollable. And I get that, it's a fight club. So I get it. It's the image, but if you watch one fight, I'm sure in the background, in the crowd or somewhere or the corner, or like, you're going to see something you didn't expect. Yeah. Some type of positive, talking or instruction, or you could see these guys sometimes in between rounds, like, just defeated, bro. Yeah. Like, these guys don't want to step back in there, and their corners are like, dude, you're winning. What are you talking about?
It's crazy. Yeah.
It is.
I mean, you're watching like Rocky in somebody's backyard, involved, like right there. Yeah.
There's nothing on the line.
They literally love
health, obviously, right? Yeah. Like, and everyone knows that. But if you're willing to accept that health risk, man, the growth is there, and it's for anyone to be had. It doesn't matter, what stage of life you're in, what political, religion, whatever, dude. None of that matters. It doesnend matter if you're a criminal. It doesn't matter if you make sandwiches, bro.
Yep.
Like,
you can be a pastor. You get in there and throw hands.
We do have pastors throwing hands. I love it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a trip, man. And every day for me has just been a blessing. And, I've, my son is about 1.5 now, my youngest son. And he spent, some time at UC Davis. He had seizures when he was a couple months old. And, I've kind of had to, I don't want to say step back, but I've had to kind of readjust a little bit. The editing and things like that for how the channel is being run. Yeah. And I'm also homeschooling my one of my daughters as well. So it like we talked about earlier, everything's a balance, right? And so this part of my life, it's just been I've taken, I'd say, maybe a half step down. But here's the thing, our next event is next week. And we take November, December off generally, and we chill out, we hang out a little bit, and then we have a big event in January. And so Man, I am so stoked for this next event.
Yeah.
I have this burning desire to just get all these fights edited and get all these clips and highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm starting this new year with this desire to further build our channel, further build the YouTube and Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook, and just get the word out that you can be violent, but in a controlled area, right?
Yeah.
And so if you have real beef, we can help you.
Yep.
Like if anything, right?
Yep.
It is not
Yeah. Come
worth
handle it in the yard.
exactly. It is not worth losing a life or spending the rest of your life in prison
Yeah.
to solve a dispute. It doesn't matter what the dispute. I don't care. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, I get that that can be a sensitive topic, and so many people have things they could say about it, but this is my perspective.
Yeah.
As a fight club, I run a fight club, and
Yeah.
we help people solve beefs. Man, if you get two guys or two gals with issues, and you get them to agree to put boxing gloves on, and they get tired in there,
Yeah.
there's
They don't want to fight anymore.
that, and there's nothing to be mad about.
Yeah.
They're almost always smiling and laughing and like, this
Right.
is silly, is how it feels afterwards,
Right. Like, what are we
I had
doing?
this exactly. I'm so angry, and really I'm choosing to be that. I'm choosing to be, even though this stuff happened to me, I'm still choosing to be mad.
Huh.
And so
There was like that
fight,
moment of like snapping out of it. Like, just
yes,
like, what are we doing?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, that's just something that's really special to me. I did some like conflict resolution stuff when I was in high school, and I think I kind of carried that over a little bit, to the military. And then
Okay. Yeah.
when I got out, I was able to really finally find a way to spread that message, like we were just talking about,
Yeah.
and just really help people with whatever challenges they got going on in life, whether it's, I want to stop eating such crap food, and I want to be healthier, or I want to be a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
We got it, dude.
Yeah,
We
for
got
sure.
it. And
You guys definitely do.
if you guys are watching this podcast and you're not sure, you want to check it out, come check us out, man.
Yeah.
Come check out some of our fights.
Yep, follow them on
watch our
YouTube, get on
Yeah.
Facebook, join the group, Streetbeefs West Coast on
Yes.
Facebook. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
get involved.
Yes. Everything.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of making changes, your first fight in the desert was with Tiny Tank. I had Tiny Tank on the podcast a while back, and one thing that I wanted to tell you is, like, when I first started, I had Tiny Tank on. I had Wedo on in the beginning, and then I had him on last month. And I think in the beginning, I didn't exactly realize exactly who Tiny Tank and you and Weddle were. It's not like you guys are just like some fighters or whatever.
Right.
You guys are the co-founders. Weddle runs the hot box,
Yes, sir.
so yeah, it's been crazy. And then even in the time that I interviewed Tiny Tank to today,
yes, sir.
dude, has been insane to watch.
Yes, sir.
Like, can you tell
Yes, sir.
like, can you talk about that a little bit? Like the guy that you fought and who Tiny Tank is today?
Oh, brother. Yeah, it's always been support, right?
Yeah.
We've always supported each other. Doesn't matter what we've got going on in life, and we've both like been through some heavy stuff during the growth of our branch, and there's just been times where he needed to take over more, and there's been times where I needed to take over more, and we've always just been able to communicate and let each other know our needs. And so it's been, I use the word blessing a lot, but I'm so blessed to have Tiny Tank as a partner. The dude does it all. And not only does he do it all, but he inspires too, right? He's made this really huge, important decision to take alcohol out of his life.
Yeah.
And that's really like the Sandbox was our first 10 events in Las Vegas. That was our first venue.
Okay.
he was like, sometimes he'd come to an event and he was like really hungover. Like, I'm not trying to call him out at all.
Yeah.
But,
No, I think he might have
like,
talked about it, or I know,
yeah,
I know
okay,
he's mentioned it before publicly. Yeah.
yeah, bro. And sometimes he'd just would like, and like I said before, it was all support. So he was there, he was helping, and I was there and I was helping. And yeah, it was hard because we had this distance between each other.
Yeah.
Right. And then some years pass and the ball drops and I hear about Martin in the hospital, and gosh, my heart just sank, dude. I was just like, like, this is my partner, bro. Like, this is who I've been working with, for years at this point, and I'm not able to like physically be there, or like, even if I'm texting or calling him, it's hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, to see him pick himself up and turn himself into what he has today.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Like every single post is whoa, dude. Like,
yeah, for real. I mean, just the other day I saw him holding mitts for kids, like, I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
It's the next level, man. Yeah. Every time he's doing like a cookout after his workouts, and like, he's got all these cool ideas and he's getting all these views and followers, and it's so well deserved, man.
Yeah.
And anyone in the community, in Street Beefs, in any of them, can look to Martin and just be like, these are the steps I can take
right.
if I want to be successful, like Tiny Tank. He's putting the blueprint out there, man. Like, this is,
there's no secret.
There's no secret. It's hard work every day. Be consistent, and you will have results, right? So that's just the bottom line. Like, you can't shortcut things and expect good results.
Yeah.
You can get them sometimes, but really, that's just it's fooling you. You got to put in that work day in and day out. And Martin is such an inspiration for that, dude. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And man, his fighting has come a long way too, right? Like, if I fought the version that fought Zitro or El Coyote, man, like, I'm not lasting one round at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to put in more work. I haven't done that. I know that. So, but dang, dude, I'm cool so proud of him.
Yeah,
I love Martin, dude. And I'm excited to see where his whole thing goes. Cause he's building himself too, not just the branch and
his team.
So cool.
Yeah.
His team. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. And one thing I was going to say is, like, for people that have seen you fighting on the Streetbeefs website, and like, if people watch interviews with you where you're not wearing gloves and you're talking like this, I think you kind of get a sense that there's like this obvious sense of community. I mean, being the co-founder, there's this deep sense of community, of love, camaraderie, like for the fighters, the people that are in it. Where does that come from? Like, where does that depth come from for that love for this?
Honestly, I think that I think this is kind of be a little far out there, but I think we have many lifetimes here on Earth, and so this has been a buildup for me, and it's been kind of a special thing to be able to do what I'm doing now, and so I'm really just trying to do my best, but also, don't let it drown me in a way where, let's say I'm 24/7 editing Street Beefs nonstop. And there was a time where I was like that, and I could sense that it was a little unhealthy for me because, unfortunately, our world is run by finances and things like that, right? And so I was putting in all this work, and it wasn't financially what the work was equal, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so all I'm focused on right now is just building, helping people, being positive, letting people find us, right?
Yeah.
We just had a documentary crew from Poland.
Yeah.
They were so professional and so amazing. Shout out to that whole crew. I love all of them.
Is there anything you can tell us? Because I think Weddle was kind of mentioning a little bit, but he couldn't talk much about it. I don't know if you got any more insider information you can share, or like any when it's coming out, maybe, or.
They said they're editing now,
okay,
and maybe expect a year's worth of editing. And
okay,
so I think that's pretty fair because
yeah.
They recorded. I'm off the top of my head. I think it was like 5 events. So they had
wow.
3 of them on the East Coast, and they did 2 of them on the West Coast. And they also came out to NorCal, where I live, and recorded me, all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah.
And then we did a road trip from NorCal to Pahrump in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And so they have a lot of footage. They have a ton of footage. Obviously, it's going to be like hour and a half, 2-hour docu. And so not all that footage is going to be in there. So
yeah.
I was just, honestly, I was mind blown, man. And
dude, that's exciting,
that I've always been interested in. Oh man, I'm stoked. But it was really cool because I got to pick their brains, and so like that whole road trip, I'm asking them all this stuff about film and like, how does this work? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was fun for me. It was fun for me. And then there would be random times where like, they just get on the phone and I don't understand what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh shoot, I kind of feel like I'm being kidnapped now, you know what I'm saying? But then they would laugh and be like, oh, this is what we were talking about. And like, okay, thank you. Like,
dude, that's cool.
But yeah, that was mind blowing, man. And really, like this podcast, the whole time I'm just like, what, like, why are they trying to record me? I don't really understand this, but all right, let's do this, And, and their approach was cool. They shied away from interviews, and they wanted to really just tell a story and kind of hover over a shoulder and do that. And so, man, like I was mic'd up all the time, and I'm not used to that, man. That made me feel like a rat or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some kind of like,
you're like, I
just
got a
like,
mic on me. I'm wearing a wire.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, that's cool,
man. Like the whole thing was just new to me, and I made sure to let them know, hey, I appreciate you guys, and man, I'm excited to see the final product. So
yeah, me too. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be awesome. Dude, so I know on MMA Underground you were talking about how fighting for you is like meditation. In what way is fighting like meditation for you?
So when I meditate, it's a slow kind of separation of the mind from the body. And so when I'm fighting, I don't know why, but I have a very similar feeling. It's this battle to, well, like you said earlier, the more drills you run, the more you're going to react, and you're not going to be thinking in there. You don't want to be really thinking a whole lot as you fight. But my mind enters this kind of like it's like a half and half mode. And so when I'm fighting, it's very satisfying to my mind, even as I'm getting punched in the face. So it's just this very kind of,
that's curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's cerebral, my brain is working, but in a different kind of state, I guess.
Right.
And that's the same thing in meditation. My brain's never shut off, and it's working, but I'm just sitting there and I'm meditating. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. Yeah.
I think what I think is happening is I'm kind of achieving kind of similar states of a mental kind of thing. And that's what's so similar to me.
That's interesting. Like a focus, clarity, flow type thing. Yeah.
And I wouldn't call it like, I'm not entering, what is that? Like the flow state,
like John Wick type stuff.
I've never done that, bro. Yeah. No, I've never been there. I'm not talented or anything, right? Like that for fighting, but, fighting is a tool. It really is. It's a tool that you can use, that any human can use to grow and to get better.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can apply it to anything in life, right? Any challenge in life can be, you can have a different perspective on it if you fought. And so that's really cool. If you're a fighter, you have like, you know, right? Sometimes you just know certain things and you can walk away, or you can defeat this challenge because you're like, I've been in a really tough situation where I got out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I
might
was
take
able
a while.
to walk through that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It might take a while, but don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up and keep going through.
Yeah, man, that's is there something that like fighting gives you that meditation doesn't?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yeah, I would say that that confidence buildup that we were talking about earlier, that discovery of the toughness and the strength, you know, I don't think I've experienced that through meditation. My meditations have taken the form more of being creative and kind of exploring mentally lots of things, you know, whether it's happiness or sadness or traumas or whatever. I like to just try to think about all those things that maybe my brain is trying to shut off during the day. And, you know, hey, eat this lunch, or hey, you know, go to work, or you're doing all this stuff. But when I meditate, it's my chance to just kind of like face it all, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that I'm trying to shy away from. There's nothing that I'm trying to hide within my mind or my body. I'm trying to look at everything and see where I'm at and see where I need to grow. And sometimes that's hard, dude. Sometimes you look at yourself and you're like, oh, like, okay, like, oh, let's not look there, but look there. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
exactly
that might
where
be the part that you, exactly. And so that's fighting and meditation. But yeah, it's crazy how similar they are to me, bro. Like,
yeah, it is
how I view them anyways, you know?
I guess, so why do you fight? Like, is that why? Is that just like kind of like your form, in a way? It's like a form of peace, I guess.
It is peace. Yeah, it is peace. And it's also,
it's kind of weird,
keeping myself in check. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird, bro. But, you know, a lot of times we, as humans, I think we lose sight of certain things that, you know, like we were talking about earlier. I believe in like all encompassing, you know, so as a human, you have to do your due diligence to figure out, where can I place this violence in my life and how can I use it in a positive way? Because, you know, as humans, it's just something we come across, right? Violence is in nature, not really just human nature, but nature in general. Survival, you know, it's cutthroat, you know? And as humans, we have the ability to make decisions. And so I don't blame the ones that say, hey, no violence in my house, no this in my house, or whatever, you know. If that's your route, then I respect it. But all I'm here to say is that if you've never fought in a cage, try it out. Try it out, and you'll learn a lot. You'll figure out that there are different perspectives that you're closing off. That you're being closed-minded to. That if you would just, you don't even have to take it. Just look through that perspective and you will learn a lot. You will understand others that perhaps have irked you or given you anxiety or have wronged you, you know, and you may have this idea that it was your fault, and really it wasn't. It's just whatever they're going through or however they live their life. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think it's like the most primal thing that we can do. I mean, the way I see it, like if we came from, you know, apes or what, like cavemen, whatever, is like, you got a disagreement, you know, I want that cave and we're going to fight, you know, and that's
it. As simple as it gets. It's as simple as it gets.
I was, One thing I wanted to share with you, because this was crazy. I saw on Netflix, there's this documentary called Chimp Empire. And there's these clans of chimps. And they were saying that when they run into each other, they have two options. You fight or run. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's just nature.
That's as real as it gets. That's nature. Yeah. And that's really our nature. But like we talked about, we are so intelligent and we are so conscious of our choices, right? And so as humans, we have such a complex ability to have all these choices, right?
Yeah.
And so we've come to this point where, it's just, and I mean, it's hard because I mean, you look at real ugly violence like war, and things going on in the world right now, and that's not something that we can transform as Street Beefs, right? But maybe we can stop the world from getting to that point by getting in the cage. Maybe you can get your frustrations out before killing someone or having to attack a neighboring country by getting your anger out, and that's really what it is. So all this fostered emotion, it's built up, and so many people choose to just swallow it and ignore it and push it to the side. And then years down the road, something happens and there's just this explosion release of emotion. It's not fair, right? It's not fair to the person or to anyone around them. And really, I think that is Street Beefs is like, we can help prevent that, right? Like, obviously we can't stop wars and stuff like that, but if for 20, 30, 40 years, we build this club and it gets so huge to where, hey, we have a dispute, like, let's go to Street Beefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's solve it.
But you know what though? Also, like, if you feel like you have just this inside you that you need to get out, like you just have this anger, this rage, like just maybe things happen to you in life. And I mean, I'm sure, Güero knows, like, there's people that this, like, for them, this is their avenue of like staying straight and not losing it when they're out in the world.
Yes, sir. There are tons of individuals like that. And, over time, over the years, they become different people.
Right.
They don't need the community like that, but they're still a part of it. And then they can help the next group, that's coming in and they're young or they've made choices and now they're older now, or it doesn't, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter the age, right? But at some point in your life, you might figure out that, hey, I don't have a lot of support. I'm kind of violent. Where do I go? Are there people like me that can still support me? Yes. Yeah. It's Street Beefs. Yep. It's everyone at Street Beefs. You know what I'm saying? And not everyone gets along, but that's also fine. Like we, as long as it doesn't get too personal and people aren't calling out families and threatening with death and things like that, like, people are going to disagree, man. People are going to not get along, and that's fine. There's no rules against that in the club, right? And if it gets to the point where you guys need to throw on gloves,
that's an option too. Like,
that's an option too, right? But there's always de-escalation, right? As admins and mods, we're always trying to, like, not get it to that point,
right?
But that's what's nice about the club is, hey, we had that option. It's
the nuclear option. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Before the nuclear option,
Yeah.
And so, it's really special to be able to help people out in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So when there's so many, like, different types of personalities, and like you're mentioning, like, people can, start talking smack or whatever. And that is part of the fight game,
Yes, sir.
And just with your being Bushido Zed, kind of zen, very thoughtful,
Yes, sir.
It seems like your personality would be more like the sportsman, but then there's, like, for me, I love that. I love seeing that type of personality, but I also kind of like Conor McGregor sometimes, You know what I mean? So
yes, sir. No,
what,
I know
give me
what you
your
mean.
opinion. Like, what do you think about that?
So here's the thing, man. Just come be yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people is like, obviously, people who are growing a fight career, a lot of them will hook onto a personality, and
Yeah.
that's great. You got Wing C, for example. You
Right.
got
Right.
Death Sentence, or you got guys on out west, disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
Um, Weapon M, like he literally dresses like Wolverine every fight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so, if you want to do that, do that. But I think, in my personal opinion, coming in and just being 100% yourself, you're gonna find that people love you and
Yeah.
like you for who
Yeah.
you are. You're like, you don't literally, you can come into an event and you don't have to act cool. You don't have to act macho.
Yeah.
Hell, you can all the way up into your fight. It happens. The
Yeah.
ego is strong. I get
Yeah.
it. Like it's very strong. And so sometimes it happens, and you get in there and you fight, and most of the time after that first fight, you see the look on their face change, and they're just almost confused, like, this is not how I thought it
Yeah.
would go.
Yeah.
Like I expected so much more tension
Yeah.
and things like that, and it's just so welcoming and so supportive.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. It's
different.
crazy.
We're just different, bro.
Yep. Dude, so I want to know, what is something that you like that surprises you, that has surprised you, like, along this journey in the last 5 years, from the desert to where you are today, and being, one of the co-founders of the whole West Coast. I mean, you guys got several branches now, have, Hall of Fame events, so what's something that surprises you, that you've learned, or something that's changed about you over the years?
Man, I would say the fact that Martin and I are still at the top of this thing, dude. Like, not that I thought something would happen, but I didn't really know how long the thing would run, and that's kind of an
Yeah.
honest thing to think, is like, I don't really know. And man, our first event, our first official event, was in San Bernardino, and all those videos were uploaded to the main channel,
Yeah.
and all of them, like pretty much all of them went, and obviously the
That's
Shinigami
cool.
one really went.
Yeah.
And so we knew we had something special. And
Yeah.
so after that first event, Martin and I were just like, we gotta get a cage. We gotta do this thing right. We started like really, really thinking, like, how do we stop this from flopping? Because it's really cool.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent too. We saw so much talent. And I think that's something that was surprising, was we were expecting a lot of people that just wanted to throw down and not a lot of training.
Yeah.
And pretty much every fight was someone, like, both of the guys were trained, like,
Yeah.
we had, like, I think maybe 4 or 5 or 6 fights that day where it was just kind of untrained people, and the rest of them were like,
Dude, that's cool.
real fights.
Yeah, they got skills.
Like slips and like the combos. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, I'm in there reffing, and it's so hot, and I'm just sweating, and I'm like, bro, my hands were. I was supposed to fight that day, and I didn't fight because I had these gloves on, these latex gloves.
Oh man!
And I was sweating so much. I took the glove off, and my hands were like so swollen. They were like balloons.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it, bro. Yeah, and I was like, I might have to go to the hospital. And then I just chilled for a little bit, and then my hands started to come down. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And then next thing I know,
dang.
like, Tiny Tank's fighting someone off to the side in the back, like not on camera. Like, he just needed to get some sparring in. I was like,
damn.
It was a wild day, man.
That's
funny.
Was
wild. And it was like 110 peak heat that day. We had people like passing out from heat exhaustion, and I'm just like,
dude,
okay,
those are brutal.
Yeah, we need safety. We need better matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? But nothing stopped us that day. We were going to have a great event, and we did. And that's really when the West Coast was born, was when, San Bernardino, we had Shinigami, we had 619, we had Big Daddy William, we had Wama, Just so many of our stars were born that day. WA.
Yeah.
Got Mr. Nice Guy. Sorry, I'm just off the top of my head. But
yeah, that's
it was just such a humbling moment, and that's really was a big surprise for me, was how much it actually blew up. I thought it was going to take like 3, 4, 5 events to kind of like get the ball rolling,
yeah.
And I didn't know how Scarface would react initially. I was like, all right, we're in the backyard and let's show him the fights, let's send him over. Like,
yeah, dude, that's cool.
He messaged us and it was like, I cannot believe, like, I love it. He's basically just so blown away by it. And me and Martin were like, oh, what? We did it. We did it right, dude.
Yeah. Time to do it again. Yep.
Time to do it again, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that's awesome. So, so you say you got a big event next, the big one next week?
Next weekend. Yes, sir.
Dude, that's awesome. So yeah, make sure you guys look out for that. And one last thing before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you, like, when you hear fighting for your life, like what is that? What do you hear when you hear that? Like, what does that mean to you?
Honestly, it makes me think of Street Beefs, bro. Like it's not only that though. Fighting for your life is like, it's every challenge. It's every single challenge of every day, dude. Like, it doesn't matter how small or how big or what's going on or who's around you. You, yourself, the human being that's running your life and in control of your mind, chooses to either fall or tackle those challenges. And so fighting for your life is doing that. It is facing them or allowing those challenges to shape you in a different way. And let me just be the one to tell you that you have the strength and all the tools to do it. So don't let fear, don't let anxiety overcome you, and it will. But just know that you can overcome it again, and you can continue on, and you can tackle those challenges.
Yep. Keep on moving forward.
So.
Yep. Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Make sure everybody, you guys follow Bushido Zed on Instagram, follow Streetbeefs West Coast. Make sure you guys follow the Facebook group. If you guys are interested in fighting, find them on Facebook. You guys can find an event near you, join the community,
yes, sir.
Get to know everybody, follow all the fighters out in Streetbeefs West Coast, man. It's an amazing community. Man, I really appreciate you coming out here, doing this with me,
bro.
And we'll do it again for sure.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. I would love to be back on soon. The vibe is awesome. You're awesome. I can't wait to physically meet you. We will this year, I'm sure.
Yep, we'll do it.
Thank you so much, brother. Have a great night. And yeah, man, I appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.